Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro, friends. Today is March the 21st. It's a Saturday. Happy Saturday to everybody. Okay, where are we at with all of this? Today we're going to be talking about dignity in times of panic. And this is definitely a time of panic, a time of no more business as usual for the foreseeable future. For anyone who's watching this or listening to this that thinks that this is something that's going to be over in a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, I would say to you, please start managing your expectations. As they learn more and more about this coronavirus situation, they are realizing that we don't have anywhere close to a full understanding of how this curve is going to turn out. So how long this whole thing is going to stretch. So, for a couple months we've been saying prepare. The window to prepare was open for some time. It's clearly no longer there. We are now in a time of having to accept the situation for what it is. And the majority of people accepted it too late, and there are still an enormous number of people that don't want to accept the situation for the seriousness that it is. And this results in a panic, and that's where we're at. And so what's happened is a bunch of businesses have closed or will close, and a good proportion of those businesses will not open again and not be able to open again from what they're suspecting. We've had massive layoffs. All of these things go into they're a recipe for panic. People are scared. They go into what people call is a famine mindset. And a famine mindset is where we believe that we're not going to be able to have enough. We'll never have enough to feed ourselves. We'll never have enough for insert the thing that you think that's going to run out. And so the world right now is panic buying toilet paper and panic buying food and panicking with crowdfunding situations because people are not going to have enough, and we have to get people enough money, and we have to do this and we have to do that. And it's panic. Now, while you're panicking, a whole bunch of things happen. First of all, you're joining a huge herd of people while they all continue to panic, they feed each other with hysteria. If you are in that panic mindset, you can't think logically. You can't look at the situation or the alternative to the situation that's being presented to you rationally. And that's not a healthy mindset to be in, and it's not a proactive position to be in. And so why can this be detrimental? Well, because if you are not thinking rationally, you're not seeing the opportunities that you could perhaps be taking advantage of that allow you to work away from the panic and work away from a famine mindset and be able to provide for yourself. We don't live in times whereby back in the Depression days, whereby food was only available through one mechanism and there was scarcity and sparsity, I don't know which is the right of those words, because of the one avenue things became available to us had been blocked off. There are many, many new tools that are available to us as a civilization than was available to people in the Great Depression or at the time of the Spanish flu, which is the closest kind of correlation that we have to this current situation. Now, culturally, dignity is an important thing to me. And when I say culturally, I mean both as an Arab, someone who was raised as an Arab, and as an Australian. So culturally, the idea of dignity is a guiding force for me. And I look at the idea of panic and the hysteria that it causes, and the symbiotic relationship between panic and hysteria, and you throw in the idea of the famine mindset, and all of a sudden the idea of dignity goes out the window. And dignity is one of those really high vibration behaviors that we can all have. And so it's important to me because it's a cultural value that I hold with very high regard. It's important to me and to this brand, Map It Forward, that any solutions that we present for moving through this bring back the dignity that a panic mindset or swarm instills in a community. And the reason I say that is because culturally for me, the idea of asking for a handout versus looking for opportunities that I could thrive in. I could look for opportunities and ways to step into becoming an entrepreneur for the first time if you've not become an entrepreneur, or join forces with someone who has a good idea and help them execute that idea, and then we can both potentially figure out a way to feed ourselves through this. I want you to consider that if you don't have to take the handout, you follow the harder road and grow the muscles that you haven't ever had to grow before because of your position of privilege, whatever that be. It's times like this that give you the opportunity to define yourself as somebody who takes the harder road and learns and grows, or somebody who's just going to say, you owe me more. Everything that I've done in my career means that I deserve to be taken care of. And I hate to tell you, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Nobody has to take care of you. You don't deserve to get to expect that you're going to be fine out of this because somebody's going to give you a handout. And that sounds like tough love, but I'm telling it to you because if you're going to sit there and wait for someone to fix this for you or save you, when you are able-bodied enough to get up and find another way, that help may not come. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that if you want to survive this and be guaranteed to survive this, being less scathed than what the majority of people are going to be, the best way to do that and maintain your dignity is not to sit there and wait for a handout. It's to come up with solutions that will empower you to help yourself. And in helping yourself and taking care of yourself, instead of waiting for somebody else to take care of you, is going to teach you things and grow your heart and pride for yourself in ways that you never knew possible. I speak from direct experience on this. I turned myself from a princess into a fucking powerhouse doing this. And when I say that, I mean from a mindset perspective. Those of us who have done hard thing after hard thing after hard thing after hard thing, look at this situation and say, okay, so what's the opportunity here for me to take care of me and the people that I care about? And you are the people that I care about. You are part of the people that I care about. And why I'm saying this is because I give a shit about you. And in times of crisis, nobody's going to take a minute to sit there and say to you, start thinking about how you can take care of yourself. It would be awesome if somebody would just give us some money and help us figure it all out. But what would be more dignified is for you, and what would make this moment in your life be a moment that you take advantage of with regards to the moments, the lessons that it presents you, is if you look at this and say, okay, this shit is going to be really hard, but I'm going to try and take care of me right now. How can I do that? Who can I ask to help me problem solve something? I've got an idea. I don't quite know how to do it. Who can I find to mentor me through this right now? Who do I think would be good to work with right now? And that will give you back so much of your dignity, and it will help you feel so much more empowered in this moment when things are filled with panic and hopelessness and people are scared about how they're going to feed themselves. So I want to give you a couple of tips to help you with this, because if you haven't done hard stuff before, there are some lessons that you will just have to learn, and there are some things that you can get from other people that will help speed up the process for you. First of all, if everybody's going this way, go the other way and look for opportunities. So if everybody's doing like pickup orders, or will home deliver, or whatever, what could you do different to that? True innovators and truly successful things are either first to market or different to what the herd is doing. Solve a problem that nobody else is solving right now. So what is a problem that you've identified that potential customers are experiencing that you can find a solution to? The third thing, try and learn as quickly as possible who you should and shouldn't work with. Don't come from a place of desperation. So don't come from a point of, well, fuck, I need someone to work with me on this, so I'll take the first available person. If there's one thing that I've messed up again and again and again and again, it's that I believed that people who said they could deliver on something, I trusted them. And time again, it has proven to me that they cannot. They're just excited about the idea of being involved in something that's trying to solve a problem. So unless you are 100% confident that the person can deliver on what they say they can bring to the table, keep looking. And while you're continuing to look, keep fixing the problem yourself. But this is where a mentor comes in really, really valuable. Finding people who can mentor you, and everybody's sitting at home at the moment. Everybody's looking for something to do. Find somebody online who can mentor you through this situation. We want to be busy. For the record, I'm extremely busy, so don't hit me up. But find other people that you have been admiring online that you know 100% have the clout that they are out there touting that they have. There's a lot of people talking a bunch of bullshit on Instagram that they're specialists in this and specialists in that. Now, if you can't find a mentor, figure out what the questions that you have are and ask a bunch of different people. Find the person who can tell you how to get access to this, and go and find them and ask them that question. If you have a different question that somebody else can answer, ask them that one question. The fourth thing, write it down. You don't need a whole business plan. Screw it. Write it down, 1 page. What's your idea? What is it going to solve? And in very briefly, what is going to be the flow of that? You don't have 12 months to plan. You got to get this shit done now. So keep it simple. Pick one problem that you're looking to solve in an area that nobody else is even looking at. Figure out a simple solution to it, and then figure out how you're going to monetize it. Once you've got that little plan in there, go research what tools are available for you online that can help you execute that. And you'll be well on your way. Well on your way. Now, if there's a part of it that you can't problem solve, put the call out online. See who else in your community, let's say you need to have a website built and you don't know how to do that. Get online and say, hey, does anyone have any tips that can help me figure out how to do a website? Or ask if anyone wants to build the website for you. You may not have the money to pay them now, but you will pay them once you have the money to do it. Have a little written contract via email that guarantees that you do it. People are sitting waiting for things to do. All of this stuff will bring you more dignity than you would more than you can imagine. Taking a handout is great for the moment, but it's instant gratification. It calms you for a second. It's not putting you into action that allows you to take care of yourself however long this is going to last. And it's going to last more than a couple of months. So I said we were going in the show notes, it says we're going to talk about crowdfunding and the trappings versus the advantages of that. I'm all for helping each other. I'm massively for that. And I don't think enough of it happens. The danger though, the trappings for crowdfunding, when business owners crowdfund for their staff, or when we go out there and say, I don't have enough money, I'm doing a crowdfunding thing for me to get through this coronavirus crisis, please send me some money. The reason that that's a trap is because it's finite. And it's like the difference between teach a man to fish and you'll feed him for a day. Give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you'll feed him forever. It's exactly the same thing. So if you are depending on crowdfunding, use it to get you through the time until you are able to figure out an entrepreneurial solution to what's happening right now. But there is a trap. If you continue to depend on crowdfunding, you're someone who just keeps taking. And that's not cool. That's not cool at these times. You've got to find a way to remove your dependency on that so that somebody else who is less capable of what you are capable of can have access to that resource. And that's why the solution that we're trying to work on right now, whereby we get sponsorship money that comes through advertising, and we're going to pay people who do work for this podcast or this brand with 100% of that money. It's a dignified way of getting things out there. By things I mean money, resources. It's a dignified way of being able to do that. Now, for anyone who's going to hit me up and say, but that's, that sounds whatever, things like, oh, but you're controlling the narrative and you're controlling this and you're controlling that. Remember, please, that this podcast comes to you 100% free. All of the time that I commit to this podcast is 100% free. I get paid by Elixir Specialty Coffee, which, by the way, is closed down right now. So we do a lot for this community that is free of charge. So we are doing everything that we can to funnel the money through you. The expectation that you should have to do nothing to receive that money, no, that's not going to happen. That's not the kind of people we want associated with this brand. We will absolutely pay you to create content for us, but we will not give you a handout for nothing, because we don't want to be encouraging that behavior. We don't think it brings dignity with it. We don't think that teaches us a behavior as an industry that we should be conspiring to. We want to conspire to each other's success. That's the motto of Map It Forward, conspiring to each other's success. I'm not helping you be successful if I'm just handing over $100. I'm helping you be successful if you write a blog post that tells people what your experience is like. I'm giving you an opportunity to share your skills. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that people can understand the mindset and why. My reasoning is behind why I want to encourage people to move or have their hearts lead with dignity in that, as one of the mindsets that you come to this in, because this situation really does present us with an opportunity to do the hard things in a time that feels incredibly uncomfortable for all of us, and solve things for each other and find a way to monetize that. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in you making money from this situation. It's a way to feed yourself and take yourself out of a famine mindset. I hope that's been helpful. Join me at 5 p.m. today for an Instagram Live where we're going to talk about all of the things that you're experiencing, and we'll talk about this subject more. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.